Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ, Taurota Tarot. Hope you guys are having a good week. This is going to be Taurus and Aries. Sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G, for the month of January 2020. I don't think I've done Taurus and Aries in a while. And for those of you that are going, yeah, I didn't. I can't do that pairing together. Yeah, I really go by numbers. So if only 8 people see my video, it's kind of like, okay, well, if somebody requests it, I will certainly do it. But sometimes just looking at the numbers, it's like, I guess not. So as we go along, more people are beginning to watch different things. So thought I'd come here and do Taurus and Aries for January 2020. You guys are going through some changes. There's your happy family, but it's probably more like this than this. And there's that card looking at shit with a little bit of shock and awe. So, 9-card spread, recent past, 3 for current energy, 3 for the future. 2 for overall energy, and I will let the oracle cards fall where they will. Let's see what we got going on with y'all. So, stand your ground and moving on. Oh Lord, what's going on, Taurus and Aries? What the hell? Recent past, and this is a reminder. I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. Thank you to everybody that has liked, shared, and subscribed. I don't know why I wait till I get to this point in the video to start remembering what the hell I'm supposed to be saying. But anyway, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please continue to do so. If you are new to my channel, buckle up because it get wild and crazy up in here sometime. At any rate, for the recent past, triumph, victory and success, and material harvest. Current energy, deception and envy. Oh, Jesus. Centerpiece and challenge card, transformation, and memories of love at the end of the current energy. Future energy, authority. The third eye chakra for the 155th time this week. And movement, choices, and decisions. So, okay. Let's see where we're going. Let's see what we got on top. So, overall energy. Stand your grounds, pulling the 3 of Swords. Moving on is pulling the World card. Current energy, or recent past, I'm sorry, triumph is pulling the Ace of Cups. Victory and success, pulling the 7 of Cups. Material harvest, pulling the 2 of Cups. Current energy, deception and envy, pulling the 3 of Coins. Transformation, pulls the Magician. Memories of love, 4 of Wands, and that popped out before I got on cam, so there's something to that. Authority in your future energy is pulling the High Priestess. Third eye chakra is pulling the 3 of Cups. Movement, choices, and decisions. It's pulling the Knight of Coins. Taurus, what you doing? Okay. Overall energy right now, Taurus, with your Aries, is the 3 of Swords on top of the stand your ground. And so I'm going to guess if you haven't had it confirmed, or if you haven't actually seen it, this is what's swirling around in your head, and this is the straight up meaning of it. 3 of Swords. You are just outdone, and this is kind of the feeling that I was getting before I turned on the camera. And one of the songs that was playing, the name of it was Devotion. And now I get it. Y'all are not feeling none of this shit. You ain't feeling no love. You ain't feeling no devotion. And you feel like every time you walk in the door, you got to get up and just, I don't know, bulls don't roar. I don't know what we do as far as sounds go, but y'all are doing it. Y'all are doing it. I'm sorry y'all are going through this at the beginning of the year. The back end of your overall energy, the part of your energy that's just kind of holding you down. You're thinking about moving on. And of course, that's about closure. And again, Taurus, I'm sorry, but now let me say this before we get all off onto old poor miserable me and shit. This is your centerpiece. don't forget, Taurus, and those Aries that happen to be cross-watching, just don't forget that Uranus is in your sign, baby. And so for some of you, has been a long time. This is not reading is not going to resonate with everybody. Eat the fish, leave the bones. But particularly those of you that have been in long-term committed relationships, maybe even marriage, or some of you that are right in the middle of this, like you're engaged and you're supposed to be getting married and you're making plans and shit, and this shit is just blowing all up in your face. Taurus, just remember this, and this is your challenge, so we're just going to do the challenge part first. Fuck it. You're going through transformation, and I'm going to say most of us probably started going through this before Uranus actually got in our sign and sat down in our sign. So I'm going all the way back to 2018, and that's when we first start hearing about Uranus is going to be in Taurus for 7 years, and oh God, and it's change and chaos and da 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 da. And I think Uranus dipped into Taurus for like 6 weeks or 4 weeks or something, just to give you like a sneak peek, and then it went away, and then it came back last year and just did all kind of shit, and then it dipped away in August and went retro. And now we are approaching the end of that retrograde phase, and this is probably why a lot of this is coming up, and why the shake-up, if it's happening to you now, or if you can feel that it's going to be happening in the near future, that's probably more to the point as to why. Transformation, baby. Transformation, just take it from the queen of all shit don't like change right here. It's not easy. It is not easy going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. But that's exactly the kind of transformation that we're making. With the magician sitting on top of the transformation card, this is really telling me to tell you that you can throw some magic back into this, literally. I know y'all like, I know, practice some magic. What you got to do? I don't mean literal magic, but I mean you can get, what was the card that I saw? And I wonder where it is now. That Two of Wands with the little girl with the match. You can get that back. I don't know, but I'm guessing that's probably why she poked her head out. You can get that back. This is what's at the bottom of the deck, the moon card. So a lot of you are in some deep, dark, shady shit. Hold that thought. You can make this happen, Taurus. You can come out of this, and it feels like for a lot of you, this was a situation where you needed to learn some lessons, Taurus. I don't know, running the range of everything about trust, dealing in social situations with your partner, learning how to be apart from your partner, just a lot of little things that you're going to need now, so you can stand up on your own 2 feet. Stand your ground without your Aries. And I'm really sorry that this is happening to y'all at the beginning of the year, but actually it's kind of the way things are going right now with everybody. So this is just a point, and I know it hurts for a lot of you. You are in love or were in love, and if I just look at the recent past energy, you were in love. It's the fuck. Happy about it. Some of you, this is going back a ways. We ain't talking about a few months. We need a couple years maybe. For others of you, this has just been an ongoing dating situation, and maybe last couple of years. But when y'all first got together, this was on and popping. Taurus had some choices, but you kind of just felt like your victory and success was going to be right here with the Aries. And like I said, a lot of y'all got married. And in the whole of the union, you were actually doing pretty good financially together, at least in so much as it wasn't a struggle to get the bills paid, or to buy things, or to do things together. But somewhere in here, shit got a little funky. And so we are now here. And for maybe a very small cross section of you, this might be you, Taurus. You might be the one getting ready to pull the stunt. But the more intense energy is that Taurus, you making plans to do one thing. Aries is making plans to do something else. And there's a third here. a third, and a third. And that's what you're feeling. If you've got that anxiety or that kind of sense of foreboding, that is exactly what you're feeling. And Aries, and I'm sorry, Aries, but I can't do nothing but tell the truth. Aries has probably been keeping this well hidden. And so a lot of the times, and this is where the heartbreak and the deceit actually comes in, a lot of times, Taurus, maybe when you felt comfortable enough with your Aries to go maybe jaunt somewhere for the weekend, or, you know, do some things with your friends, not in excess, but y'all, if it's resonating with you, you know exactly what I'm saying to you. And it was in those times that Aries was like, no. And it really just feels like Aries wasn't really ready for the weight of this commitment. However that's resonating, whether it was marriage, being engaged, and it feels like a bigger chunk of you are right in the middle of this, in that we kind of engaged, sort of, my man, my woman, but we think about getting married. It feels like you right in that kind of energy right there, and all of this is beginning to come forth. And again, you got this going on, but actually what's going on is you really dwelling on the past and the memories of what used to be good. Again, this is here for a reason. You're going through a transformation, Taurus. It just is what it is. And a lot of times when you start changing, especially at the very onset of change. So I'm going to take it all the way back to 2018, and if that's resonating with you, you'll get this. We may not realize it because we're just caught up in the fact that, you know, there's something coming that's going to change us. And for most Tauruses, that in and of itself, that information is big and overwhelming. And while you may not think the outward signs are showing, it surely as you hear something's coming to make you change, you begin changing. And whether you want to or don't want to, like it or don't like it, that's exactly what happens. And that shift in the earth probably was felt by your Aries first, just because they're a fire sign, and so they can pick up. If you've ever lit something and you see the wind blowing, or if I blow on it, there's a fire and you move it. See, and Taurus, this is you. Here's your Aries. And now you doing this down here, Taurus. And now the fire's going like, whoa, 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 whoa. That part right there. Your Aries probably picked up on this first because you move and began to shift some things around. And it may have been job related. It may have been just your outward appearance. You wanted to cut your hair, grow your hair. I noticed since 2018, my hair is, I got Angela Davis thing going on. Just that kind of change. And I didn't, until now, I really hadn't even thought about when I started it and how it got to where it is right now, and the kind of profound change that I've even made just in how I look. People look at me now and go, is that you? Yeah, it's me. I just have a head full of hair now. But at the beginning of this, you know, when I first started growing my hair out, I wasn't really paying attention. I just got tired of cutting it. I've been cutting my hair for almost 40 years. I don't feel like fucking cutting it no more. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let it grow out, let it do what it do. But other people began seeing that change in me before I even really recognized the fact. I was just fed up with cutting my hair. I've been clippering and tapering and doing shit since I was 16 years old. And so at 50 something, I was like, fuck this, I'm done. I'm tired. I can't even get up another Saturday and get no clippers in the mirror. And I've always kept up with my own hair because I never liked what anybody else was doing with my hair. So all of that said, other people began noticing that physical change in me early on. And I was just doing some shit because I didn't want to do some other shit. The same can be said here, Taurus. You probably made some kind of change either in your routine or how you physically look. You may have started losing some weight, and you shifted the earth underneath your fire. That's what you did. And for for those of you that are going through this, obviously this is not every Taurus and Aries pairing in the world, but for those of you that are going through this, you know, Taurus, it feels like it may have caught you off guard at some point, like, why am I feeling like this? I know my boo-boo ain't doing nothing like this. And for whatever reason, some of you may have been reading text messages. That's the other end of this card, manipulation. You know, you may have been pulling a little stunt here, there, and doing some other shit, trying to see, because you got this feeling in your gut. And as I always say, I don't condone people going through other people's phones and snooping on Facebook and shit. But this is what I will say about that. People don't start snooping around. Aries, I'm talking to you now, in case you mad at your Taurus because they did go through your phone. People don't start snooping around till they don't get their questions answered. So Aries, if Taurus came up to you at some point in the last couple, 3 years, whatever, how that's resonating, last 6 months, 8 months, and you were like, nah, I wasn't talking to nobody. If that you said anything to give Taurus any kind of indication that there's something wrong, then they're going to confirm that. That's what the human mind does. That's just us without even thinking. That's what we do. You think you don't have some gas in your car. You're going to think about it till you look at the actual gauge and go, okay, I have gas. But that's how your mind, that's how everybody's mind is, it clicks on and clicks off like that. So if you did something, Aries, whatever it was that had horns popping out of the bull, they weren't just doing it. Again, I don't condone it, but I'm giving you an understanding as to why. Something happened, just like you saw an outward change in Taurus. Taurus felt something on the inside to make them get that insecure that they would want to go through your phone and do some shit like that. As we get into the current energy, a lot of you were hoping for this. Let me just flip this bad boy upside down. A lot of you were hoping for this, and you kind of stuck. You ain't upright, and you ain't upside down. You just kind of stuck. A lot of you Tauruses are trying to figure out, you know, and this is a fire card, so you're trying to figure out what is your Aries doing. Where are we going from here? Because I don't like this bullshit right now. And some of you feel betrayed. That's coming out too. A lot of Tauruses, you feel, if this is the way the energy is playing for you, a lot of you are feeling betrayed. Like, the fuck did I do to deserve this? And so that brings us to our future energy and what needs to happen. First of all, Taurus, you need to get control of what you can control. Not what everybody else's control. Yeah, you got some authority, but you have the most authority over what you're doing. So first and foremost, you set the foundation and you get control over what's going on in your life. And you start looking at the situation. Some of you might be at the point where you're ready to pack up and move. Some of you may have already broken up and got the fuck out and did whatever. But for those of you where you're still kind of sitting on the fence about some shit, the first thing that you need to do is realize that you are the boss and the authority in your life. So nobody can do anything to you without you saying it's okay. So somewhere here, it takes two to tango. Something happened. And the communication stopped. There's only, only one air card, and that's up there. So the communication, swords represent communication in this particular deck, and to me in particular, that air, as I'm talking, it's air coming out. Communication is just like null and void. It ain't happening. There's a lot of emotional shit going on behind the scenes, but as far as the two of you talking, it's not happening. And so then, if that is the case with you, Taurus, with your Aries, you need to pull back up off the crystal ball. Take your hands off the crystal ball and just come back and get out of the craziness. That neon pink, just crazy shit. Pull back. Just pull back and look at the whole situation. And at this point, you need to begin looking at what part did you play in this. Because it's just me talking some bullshit about your hair growing and changing and some other bullshit. Something else was underneath all of that. And so you may need to take a minute and just rewind the Memorex and start it all over and figure out what happened. Because, I mean, you just look at the first row. This is happy shit up here. In love, you know, options. Taurus had options, but y'all had options to do things. Different, a variety of things are coming through. And it was all about being happy, 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 happy. And then, you know, with this shit right here. And that's painful. I know it's painful, but you need to look at what part you played, Taurus. Take responsibility and become the authority of your shit. Hello. And isn't that funny? That's a 4. And 2020 is a 4 universal year. So it's time for you to get in charge of what's going on. Maybe some of you just got real complacent and laid back about the whole situation and may have had an inkling a while ago that something was going on, but it didn't get front and center to the holidays. I'll just throw that out there. Third eye chakra. And this is future energy. You need to start trusting your intuition, Taurus. You just need to start trusting your intuition. Every situation is not going to have this kind of 3. I'm just saying. And so you need to get with your people. I'm going to just put that where it is. You need to get with your people so they can help you. These are cups, so they can help you heal emotionally. Especially those of you, I don't know why that's coming back like that, but those of you that are married or really close to being married and you just all in the fuck it, you need to get with the people that uplift you and support you, Taurus, so they can help you to begin to heal past this process. At the end of all of this, it's going to be about you getting back to what you do, getting on your coin, taking care of your resources. A lot of you may have to regroup because you're splitting up. If you're getting divorced, that whole thing, you may just be at the very beginnings of this. Some of you may not get to this until February or March. It's going to be about movement, choices, and decisions. And I'm going to say this. Reconnecting and reconciling with your Aries is not off the table. It isn't. There's not enough here to tell me that it's over. Yeah, you're feeling this sense of closure. And you're feeling this sense of moving on. But that's how you're feeling. That's your overall energy. That's what you're generating. When I'm looking down here at the board, yeah, you got transformation and the magician. But as surely as I say, you know, you got the magic to make your life happen. You also have the magic to put it back into the relationship. Now, that's going to take a lot of communication between you and your Aries Taurus. But it's not impossible. Because, again, this is solid happiness. This ain't no make-believe, fake it till you make it type shit up here. This is real Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, 7 of Cups, triumph, victory and success, material harvest, happy shit. And you had it going on. But somebody, somewhere, whether it was you, Taurus, or Aries, got careless. And now everybody just doing their own goddamn thing. Just fuck it. I'm going to make plans. You making plans. I'm going to make plans too. Deceiving me. Take a step back, Taurus. Take a step back. Think about what's going on. Think about what you want your future to look like. Think about the transformation that you are going through. For some of you, it may need to be that you need to let this whole situation go. For others of you, you may need to rework it. It may be some things that need to be changed or readjusted. But whatever it is that you need to do, you need to take the time, Taurus, to figure it out so that you're clear about what your next steps are going to be for this year. Hold on, Oracle cards. The Prison Waif, Lady of Lightning, the Well Watcher, Lady of the Gift. Pull this last one since I looked at it. And the Diamond Dreamer. And just because y'all are going through so much, we pull some from the other deck too. To get grounded, be grateful, expect the best, be generous. So from that first deck, the Prison Waif, self-sabotage and poverty consciousness. This is poverty consciousness for real. And Taurus, you're probably looking at this and going, we had such a wonderful thing going, and now I gotta go back and redo my finances and my taxes and some more shit, especially those of you with children. It may be for a hot second just a stressful situation when it comes to finances, because you built your life around having these two incomes and, you know, doing everything kind of in a shared capacity, and now you're considering splitting that up. So you are aware of the poverty consciousness. The point here, though, is that you can be aware of it, but you don't have to make it a reality. You may have to think a little harder, a little more creatively about how you're going to get some things done. But don't get yourself into a poverty mindset. Oh, we're breaking up and I'm going to have to get rid of the car. Once again, take a step back and look at the whole situation and see what direction, following that intuition, is going to be good for you. Lady of Lightning, surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. I'm going with all of them. Surprises, like I said, for some of you, this may have just come out of the blue. You weren't expecting this shit. A shock, same thing. A total paradigm shift, especially those of you that can feel yourselves going through this transformation. You may need to shift the lines. Paradigm shift, shifting how you approach it, how you look at it, how you understand it, and going back into it with a different mindset. You may need to do that, Taurus. Maybe if you want to keep the relationship, that might be what you have to do. I'm just saying. It's completely change the game in the relationship. And those of you that are trying to get out there and be single and fuck it, you don't want to do this no more, understand. It's a total paradigm shift. The whole thing is different. You're not approaching the thing from the same, you're not approaching the issue, the relationship, the problem from the same perspective, even from the same person you were before you got into this relationship with your Aries. Total paradigm shift. The Well Watcher. Wisdom, power of the divine. Wisdom. Take a minute. You know all of this stuff. But now, where's the wisdom? What are you going to do with that knowledge? How are you going to apply that knowledge? You going to jump up and just be like, fuck it, and walk away? You're going to try and change, adding some magic to the relationship and going through the transformation? Or what are you going to do? That is something you definitely need to think about. Wisdom. What are you going to do with the knowledge that you have? The Lady of the Gift. Generosity, receiving, and withholding. Generosity is on here twice. 2 sets of cards. If you are breaking up, be generous, Taurus. I know you want to be a stank ass. If you're a male Taurus with a female Aries, be generous, Taurus. I know you want to be a stank ass. I said that. Be generous. If you've got kids involved, damn it, be generous. They ain't got nothing to do with you and boo-boo falling out. They just don't. So be generous. Be generous with your time. Be generous with your spirit. That's transformation in and of itself. Because I know that the inclination is to start throwing dishes and shit. I get it. Be generous. Be generous. Here, if you haven't had a full blown out confrontation with your Aries, or vice versa, if it's a Taurus that's fucking around. However, if you haven't had this conversation, be generous with your listening. Before you get all up on your haunches and start preaching the who, what, for. Be generous with your listening. Listen to what your partner has to say. I know y'all like, are you crazy? I hear you. The Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, and true prosperity. Both of them. Material wealth and true prosperity. Even if you're breaking up, that doesn't mean you're not prosperous. It's not what that means at all. That means you're breaking up, you may be doing things with less money, but that doesn't mean you're not prosperous. And it feels like some of you were just, and that might be part of the problem, Taurus. Some of you are just in this relationship for the stability, financial stability that it brought through, on top of everything else, but really that. And understanding that prosperity really doesn't have a whole lot to do with money. It has to do with the abundance of life. Come on now. It's not just about how much you got sitting up in the bank and how big your house is or how much you pay a month in a house note. It ain't about that. Prosperity is about the abundance of life and how abundant you are in every area of your life. That you can walk, because I look at people every day that can't walk. A lot of people on some dumb shit. They got into a car accident and that spinal injuries, spinal cord injuries. They can't walk. Other people have lost limbs. I'm just saying. So prosperity is not just about the money in the bank. And I'm going to just go ahead and flow with it. Be grateful. Be grateful for where you are. If the relationship is breaking up and you know this is the end of it and done with it, be grateful for the time that you had with your person. Don't dwell on the negative shit. I know. And I want to dwell on it. I'm mad. Okay, be mad. But you can still be grateful too. Because there's a lot of people I know, and now I'm talking to the females. Y'all don't know how many females that I know that don't have no option whatsoever, much less a boyfriend, a husband. They have no option. They could just, for a variety of reasons, they just, nobody's interested, they're not interested, whatever. Be grateful. Be grateful, and be grateful for the love that's still in your life. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your kids, your cousins, your aunt, your uncle. Be grateful for that love. And lean on that love. You're going to get ready to go through it. Don't be afraid to reach out so they can support you while you go through this. Get grounded. Where is he at? Come here. Get grounded. Get back to them basics and realize that you are your own authority in your shit. Take responsibility for your shit and get grounded. Get back to, a lot of you might be flying around in the air because it's a shock. It's been knocked off your feet. You're surprised, some other shit. Get grounded. The quickest and the easiest way to get grounded, and I say this on occasion, go outside and put your back up against a tree. Done. Stand there for 5 minutes. You can get grounded real good, real quick like that. Trees ain't nothing but grounded. So if you looking for a way to get grounded, just go find the nearest tree, not in no rainstorm and no lightning. Come on now. But go find a tree. Put your back up against it. Stand there for about 5 minutes. Say a mantra. Say something positive about the earth. I promise you, it will work. Is this the last one? It is. Expect the best. Expect the best. Whatever's going on, whichever direction you decide to go in towards with your Aries, expect the best. It ain't got to be no doom and gloom. 2020 is a different kind of year. Now, we were having this conversation January 7th, 2019. We'd probably be having a totally different conversation. How the hell can you expect the best? This is some fucked up shit. But this is 2020. And while I'm so sorry this is at the beginning of the year, I'm actually kind of glad for you, because you'd be mad as hell if it was summertime or at the end of the year, at the end of another year. So maybe this is a time to just be thankful once again, be grateful, and expect the best. Taurus, I love you. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. I will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.